It's showtime, people, and let's kick this video off with a mystery guest who told us way back in the 80s. Well, let's just play it, and you tell me what you think. See if you can guess who this is.
I think you all know that I've always felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Does that sound like Ronald Reagan to you? Well, that's who it was. We're from the government, people, and we're here to help. People, your humble messenger, watchman that I am, is taking no pleasure in saying, I told you so. I've been telling you so for the past 2 years. And here's the rub, people. Here's the kicker. They, too, have been telling you so, but for a much longer period of time. Have you been listening? Stay with me, people, because I'm just getting started. On Saturday, the 17th of July, 2021, my, how this month is flying by. It's called Knock and Talk in the law enforcement investigations vocabulary. Yep, they're going to go door to door. They're from the government, and they only want to help you, people. So, what's Knock and Talk all about? Well, let's let this former law enforcement officer tell you what he thinks, and some free advice. Come on, anytime.
Hey everybody, Jeff Prather here with a breaking announcement. So this is Team America guidance that has already gone out, that the White House has announced the vaccine strike forces to target anti-vaxxers in their private homes, and that's going to be a knock and talk. So I've done many knock and talks when I was a special agent, so I want to go over what a knock and talk is and how you can avoid that. The first thing is lock your doors. And if they knock on your door, don't answer the knock. If you answer inadvertently, then do not permit entry. A knock and talk is a way to gain entry. If they ask you questions, you don't have to answer questions. If you are not able to remain silent, you can claim that you are jabbed, or you can cite and repeat your right to remain silent, and also your HIPAA privacy and complaint rights. Which are totally legal. No one has a right to your information like that. You should also ask for a photograph and all identification, and you should photograph and record their license plates. That's a 1028 in Cop Talk. So this technique is used by LEOs, and it's called a knock and talk. It's a way to gain entry. And so once you're in, the LEOs or whoever can make a warrantless safety sweep in the area to look around and make sure they're safe, or they could plant evidence, or they plant recording devices, or they could perjure about fake probable cause observed in the interior to come back later with a warrant, or just do reconnaissance for a return. So if entry is inadvertently admitted, order them out and film and record everyone constantly. Also try and do this live. Do not leave them alone or unattended. If able, go live and broadcast simultaneously while ordering them out, just as I said. Do not threaten, yell, or brandish weaponry. If neighbored and team up, you can activate your phone channel.
I think you guys got the gist of that. The only thing I would add to that is if you want to have a little fun, since they're inquiring about your medical history, I want to ask you guys, tell me about your sexually transmitted disease history. Would you please be so kind? All right, people. So it's called Knock and Talk, and it's coming to a home near you, and much sooner than you think. Now, here's something you want to think about. You don't think this is a rehearsal for something bigger, do you now? I think there's something millions of Americans have they might want to take away from us someday. Think they can get your neighbors, friends, even family to snitch on you, to rat you out? Well, the FBI and Facebook are already doing just that. Now, it's just my humble opinion, people. What other kind of opinion could a humble messenger have? That intelligence agencies aren't really that intelligent, and incredibly lazy in a very big way. Because you tell them everything they need to know, and not with one phone call or one Facebook post or text message. No, not one. Hell no. But think about this too. They have every call, every Facebook post, every tweet on Twitter, and text message you ever made. And when they put all these little pieces together, what's your story going to tell them about you? Come on, people. You voluntarily put it out there. You're going to have to stand by what you wrote, said, and posted. Okay, moving on. And you can Google these headlines, people, if you don't believe me. Right up the bat. Biden administration invites UN, that's United Nations for you room 10 plus 7 IQ bottom feeders out there. Biden administration invites UN racism experts to visit the U.S. Hey, it's kind of cool, huh? Do you think you thinking about blue helmets yet? You thinking about the Nigerian detachment coming to a town near you? And what was their motto, people? Say it together. We're the white women. Come on, Dave. A handful of race-woke UN advisors isn't an invading army. But really, I mean, you really want to stick with that? Well, let me tell you something, people. I'm just trying to sequence my screen here. Who has been behind a lot of the misery we have all been through in the past year plus? And I didn't ask you a question here. I gave you the answer. Who? Yeah, you remember them guys? Well, let me find them for you here. The World Health Organization, WHO, is a specialized agency of the United Nations responsible for international public health. The WHO Constitution, which establishes the agency's governing structure and principles, states its main objective as, quote, the attainment by all peoples of the highest possible level of health, unquote. Now, what part of all peoples? What part of the word all aren't you guys getting? You think you're not part of the all? Who's been here for a year and a half and they have been stirring this shit pot up? Non-stop, people. If you really want to see what the future of this country will be, and I mean very soon, take a look. Take a very close look at what's happening now in South Africa. Most don't realize how delicate advanced societies are, how dependent people are to energy, food, water, sewer even. Doesn't take a lot to disrupt these services. And when they go down, people, when they go down, we are all going back to Little House on the Prairie days. The only problem there is we don't have the skills to survive that the people had back then. You guys doubt me on this? Well, I'm going to dare you to try this simple experiment. Pull your main breaker. That's it. Shut your main power off to your house and go without electricity for a mere 24 hours. I think most of you can imagine how much that would suck without even doing the experiment. But now think about this too. It's the dead of winter. The power goes out and it ain't coming back on. Keep that in mind, people. It's a very fragile distribution system. All of it is. Our food supply lines, you name it. Water distribution, even getting rid of sewage. Farmers and ranchers, I don't have to lie to you about how gloom and doomy farming and ranching is becoming, do I? Now, while you're listening to this, our fearless leaders are making plans to round up rural Americans. Ain't making it up, people. Start doing some homework on the Google. You know the new #1 threat, white terrorists. And they have a lot of novel and cool ways to round us up. Yep, they can get you to voluntarily get on the bus. People, don't get on the bus. Hell, they can get you to shout out, hey, where's the goddamn buses at? Don't get on the bus, people. But Dave, FEMA has plenty of food and water and clean beds at the camp just down the road. Don't get on the bus, people. It's a one-way trip to Hotel California. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. Well, some of you smartasses will say, well, they gotta bury us somewhere, right, so we can leave in a body bag? So you're wrong. Well, no, you're wrong, people. They'll bury you on site in a FEMA coffin that holds 5 adults comfortably. How cool is that? You have to realize the odds of winning are stacked against us. It's much later than you think, and much worse than you thought. Not going to get better. I've been trying to warn you people, and you call me a kook. Or worse, a conspiracy theorist. Okay, fine. Why would anyone listen to me? I got it. But here's the question I'm going to leave you guys with today. Why don't you listen to them? Kissinger, Hairclaw Schwab, Ted Turner, and Billy Gates. Yeah, they tell you what they're going to do, and they're doing it. They have to tell us what they're doing. Remember the universal rule? God reveals everything through his servants to prophets. Team Evil has to do likewise through controlled mass media. And, this is a kind of a stupidly funny situation. Bill Gates has been telling you for how long we need to reduce the world's population by billions. And you're going to take advice from him on the safety of the jab? Come on, how stupid can people be? So anyway, keep your eye on South Africa, by all means. That soon will be our future. But you know what? There is a book somewhere in most people's homes. Bestseller, least read, most misunderstood. Yep, don't get nervous, people. I'm just talking about the Bible. It clearly foretold years ago where it would be today. And you don't have to struggle with Ezekiel or the questionable book of Revelations. Start in Matthew chapter 24. It's all there, people. Told you thousands of years ago. Finally, let's leave this video with some good news. One of my subs, you know who you are, calls me Dr. Doom. Well, this is for you, buddy. This year, the NFL will be playing the Black National Anthem at the games. Now, how cool is that? Can or does it get any better? I don't think so. I wonder how the Vikings will do this year. Alright, people. Till next week. Oh, this video ran long. I got stuff to do.